In this video, I will be telling the story of a wrestler to come actor who has become a household name all over the world. He has won professional sports championships and made his way onto the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but there's still no sign of stopping him. At 6 foot 5 inches tall and 260 pounds, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is definitely one of the biggest actors in the world right now. Starting his life on May 2nd, 1972, it seemed Johnson was destined to become a wrestler. It was in his blood. His father and his grandfather before him were both professional wrestlers. But it wasn't always clear to Dwayne that that's what he would become. Dwayne had a pretty turbulent childhood. Johnson himself has admitted that he was arrested 8 or 9 times before he was 16.
Like spots?
Yeah, so I have, and I'm sure I've talked about it with you a few times. So as I was growing up as a teenager in Hawaii, I used to get in trouble a lot, doing a lot of things I shouldn't have been doing, arrested multiple times.
Yeah.
And so I used to, and so the answer is yes.
Dwayne thought of himself as a pretty tough guy. He had a chip on his shoulder and he basically thought that he could do what he wanted and get away with it. Dwayne had just started at Freedom High School in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
I wanted to use the bathroom, but I didn't want to use the regular boys' bathroom because the boys' bathroom smelled like smoke and all the other fun stuff that boys' bathrooms smell like.
One day, while he was in the nice clean staff toilets, a teacher came in. The teacher's name was Jody Wick. Jody told Dwayne that he wasn't supposed to be in there and he needed to leave immediately. Now Dwayne was already a pretty big guy for a 16-year-old. At 6 foot 4, 220 pounds, he didn't think that he should have to listen to the teacher.
Look over my shoulder. Okay, I'll leave when I'm done. And I continued to wash my hands. I slowly dry my hands and I walked by him and I kind of just looked at him. I walked by, he looked at me, didn't say a word, but he was fuming.
Now this may seem like a pretty cool or macho move to some of you, but later on that day, Dwayne realised that how he had acted in the toilets was out of line. The next day, when Dwayne went back into school, he went and found the teacher that was in the toilets the day before and apologised for the way he had acted.
I just want to apologize for how I acted yesterday, and I'm sorry. And I stuck my hand out.
Jody looked at Dwayne for a moment and then took his hand, but wouldn't let it go. Jody said, "I want you to do something for me. I want you to come out and play football for me." Dwayne accepted to come and play, at the time not thinking much of it. Jody Wick was the head football coach at the school. He became like a father figure and a mentor to Johnson, who fell in love with the game of football. After that, Dwayne's grades started to get better, and then he started being recruited from every college across the country. Dwayne's mindset started to change. He started thinking about goals and what he wanted to achieve with his life. There have been multiple times when Dwayne has given the credit to all of his success to that moment with Jody Wick and the positive impact that he had on Dwayne's life. This is just one of the defining moments in Dwayne's life that reset his course to becoming the superstar that he is today. If you had a similar experience that has changed the direction of your life, please let me know and share your story in the comments. Dwayne ended up getting full scholarship from the University of Miami, playing defensive tackle, where he won the national championship playing for the Miami Hurricanes.
With Dunn. Number 94, Dwayne Johnson, finally gets a piece on the Seminole quarterback.
One of his coaches said this about the time that he was there. He was a highly recruited kid. We were excited to have him. He came to us ahead of his time. He was developed and extremely quick. He was a hard worker and a humble young man. Everybody liked him. He was easily coachable and everybody was impressed with him. Johnson graduated from Miami in 1995 with a Bachelor of General Studies in Criminology and Physiology. Although Dwayne did well playing college football, after he suffered an injury, his final year was dismal and his dreams of playing in the NFL were shattered. Dwayne then joined the Calgary Stampeders in the Canadian Football League on a practice squad contract that paid him around $300 a week. Dwayne's goal hadn't changed though. He still wanted to make it to the NFL. If he could just use the CFL as a platform to get better, maybe one of the NFL scouts would notice him. What happened though was not what he hoped for. He didn't even make the team. He was cut just 2 months into the season. After being cut from the Calgary Stampeders, Dwayne was stuck. He didn't even have the money to get to the airport to fly home. Where was home? After playing college football for years, dreaming about that moment to go and play professional football, his dreams of having all the money he wanted, buying his parents a house, his first new car, all of that, gone. His friends from Miami were all millionaires now, playing in the NFL. He pulled out his wallet and counted the money he had. A $5 bill, a $1, and some change. He had $7. He had nothing. Dwayne was forced to move back to his parents' Tampa apartment in Florida. He had nowhere else to go. He had nothing to do, and he sank into depression. For 6 weeks, he was in a dark place, in a limbo, not sure what he was going to do with himself and his life. All he did was watch TV and cleaned in this tiny little apartment. What he would do next was another moment that would redirect the course of his life. Johnson received a call from his head coach at the Calgary Stampeders, telling him that they wanted him to come back. Johnson thanked the coach and told him he would think about it. Dwayne's dad said to him, "You're going to do it, right?" Dwayne replied,
I think I'm done with that. My gut tells me I'm done. He said, what are you going to do? I took a deep breath. I said, I'd like to get into the business. He said, what business? I said, the wrestling business.
Dwayne's father looked at him and said, "Son, you are throwing it all away. It is the worst mistake you will ever make. You are ruining your career."
I said, maybe I'll be no good. But I feel like in my heart I have to do this. And I either need you to train me or need you to not train me.
His dad rose to the occasion and decided that he would train Dwayne, but he warned him that he would not go easy on him. In 1996, Johnson got a few tryout matches with the WWF under his real name, and after winning a World Tag Team Championship twice, he signed a WWF contract. Dwayne made his WWF debut as Rocky Maivia, a combination of his father and grandfather's ring names, whose names were Rocky Johnson and Peter Maivia. The WWF pushed Dwayne's character heavily despite his inexperience. Dwayne has always been one of the most charismatic wrestlers in the industry. His famous look, his lines, and his movements were all highly unique.
Is that what you think? You think you're just gonna crush the rock? It doesn't matter what you think.
It took a lot of work and practice for him to get to this point. At first, WWF fans actually rejected Rocky Maivia because his character was too cheesy. Fans would literally chant, "Die Rocky, die," and Rocky sucks at his matches. Over time, Dwayne developed his persona as a wrestler and no longer acknowledged the name Rocky Maivia. Instead, he referred to himself as The Rock. Determined, The Rock developed his character and became more and more loved by fans. They started calling him the People's Champion. The Rock went on to win multiple WWF and later WWE championships. Although he's a long way from being the most decorated WWE wrestler, The Rock has been listed as one of the all-time greatest pro wrestlers and was certainly the most popular in the mainstream media. This allowed him to cross over from wrestling into acting, a similar move made by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who transitioned from bodybuilding into acting. Dwayne has said that when he made the decision to walk away from wrestling, he was a bit shaken up. Wrestling was all he knew, and now he was walking into the world of Hollywood.
Kind of shook me a little bit because wrestling was all I knew at that time, and I had dabbled in acting, and I wanted to achieve more, and I wanted to grow. I wanted to grow as a person. I wanted to grow as an entertainer.
He wasn't sure if he was ready. He had come from the wrestling world where every night he was connected to an audience, and he felt that connection. That was something he didn't want to lose. The Rock had been on TV several times and had already appeared in a few movies when he decided to move away from full-time pro wrestling.
I knew going in, the cards are stacked against me. There's a shelf life to a career if I just wanted to get by on popularity. I didn't want to be in that position. I wanted longevity.
Dwayne knew that if he wanted a career of longevity, he had to do everything he possibly could to know the business of Hollywood from top to bottom. This would inherently make him a greater asset to the industry.
I appreciate all the people in the beginning of my career as I was coming up who took the time, who took the effort, who took me in, because I had to educate myself and I had to be a student of the game.
In 2002, Johnson starred in the blockbuster The Scorpion King. The movie was a success and Dwayne was listed in the 2007 Guinness World Records as the highest paid actor in his first starring role, earning himself $5.5 million. He then went on to star in both action and family comedy films, showing his versatility as an actor. In 2011, Dwayne appeared in Fast 5, the fifth film of the Fast and Furious film series. The movie grossed over $86 million in its opening weekend, the biggest opening for a Fast and Furious film, the biggest opening for an April release, and the biggest opening for a Johnson movie. In 2013, Forbes named Dwayne as the top grossing actor of the year, with his films bringing in $1.3 billion worldwide for the year. Then in 2016, Dwayne was listed as the highest paid actor, earning a massive $64.5 million, beating out Matt Damon, Tom Cruise, Johnny Depp, and many, many more prolific actors and actresses. Then in 2017, Dwayne was only $4 million away from being the highest paid actor again, just being beat by Mark Wahlberg, who earned himself $68 million. Although Mark does have other income streams outside of Hollywood. Dwayne launched his own production company called $7 Productions, after the time that all he had to his name was $7 and his faith. $7 have produced many of Dwayne's starring film projects, including Baywatch, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and the upcoming Rampage. Dwayne does not show any signs of slowing down the movie business, continuing to work with Disney and Universal Studios, as well as DC Extended Universe and his own company, $7 Productions. Other than earning himself an absolute mint in business, it seems Dwayne keeps himself in perpetual peak condition physically. This is down to his hardcore work ethic in the gym and what he consumes on a daily basis. He's often up at 4 AM to train cardio and weights before then going to work on set. And his workouts are hardcore. When he's in the gym, he's there to train. No f***ing around, he's 100% focused. Dwayne's admitted that he will snap at people if they get in his way at the gym. Even his own photographers.
Focus!
His diet requirements are just as crazy as his workouts. A normal diet for Dwayne is over 5,000 calories a day, spread over 8 meals, consuming 10 pounds of food. And that doesn't come close to his cheat days. Once after 150 days of healthy eating, Dwayne had an epic 15,000 calorie cheat meal consisting of 21 brownies, 12 pancakes and 4 double dough pizzas. Other than business and training, Dwayne is also well known for his philanthropy. In 2006, Dwayne founded the Dwayne Johnson Rock Foundation, a charity that works with at-risk and terminally ill children to enrich and empower their lives and self-esteem. In 2007, Dwayne and his ex-wife donated $1 million to the University of Miami to support the renovation of its football facilities, the largest donation of any former student of the college. Dwayne has worked on projects to encourage young adults to vote and is continuously putting out great content on social media that inspires millions of people the world over.
The inspiration behind the Titan Games was, it started back with just the idea of social media, the impact that it's had in a lot of people's lives, young, old, different cultures all around the world, just in terms of helping people turn their lives around. But then the bigger, broader idea was, well, how can I take the idea of helping people get better, and how can I create a platform that's a global platform that allows them to come join me?
At the time of making this video, Dwayne has 2 daughters. His eldest daughter, Simone, is 16, who Dwayne had with his first wife, Danny Garcia. Danny and Dwayne were married for 10 years and split up in a friendly manner in 2007. Soon after that, Dwayne started dating Lauren Hashian. They met while he was working on the movie The Game Plan in 2006. He had his second daughter with Lauren 8 years later in 2015, Jasmine, who is now 2 years old. And in December 2017, Dwayne and Lauren announced they are expecting their second child together, another girl. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is currently 45 years old and is one of the most popular and talked about actors in the world today. He's awesome in movies, a great business person, an absolute animal in the gym, a loving father and partner. He's humble, giving, inspiring, charismatic and cool. I for one look forward to seeing what else Dwayne has in store for the world in years to come. Thanks for watching, people. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, but most of all, I hope you've taken away some valuable lessons from the life story of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, so you can apply those lessons to your own life and fulfill whatever you desire. Don't forget to like the video, comment your thoughts and share your story, and subscribe for more inspiring stories from the world's greatest.